Engine repair 2, test 3-4, because this is basically chapters 3 and 4. Anaerobic sealants are typically used between two machine surfaces. Is that the question you got?
Yes.
Okay, what is an anaerobic sealant? Anybody know what an anaerobic sealant is? Well, what happens is when it does it, what does aerobic mean? It's talking about air, being able to breathe, right? So basically, if you put it where there's no air, it turns into something solid. As long as it can see air, it doesn't. But it looks like jelly when you're putting it on there. It looks like old grape jelly or something. To prevent a part from rotating on a shaft, set screws are used. What is a set screw? Anybody know what a set screw is? You know what a set screw is? Let's say this. Watch. I've got a shaft right here, and I'm going to put something on it, like a gear. And I want that shaft and that gear to turn as one. Right? Here's my gear. I know how to draw all the teeth. All right. Hey, lady, thank you.
Welcome.
Those are for.
That's what he said bring down here too.
No, I don't need studs. I need bolts. I'm going to need bolts, not studs. 2003. They sent you studs instead of bolts.
No, I did.
But it would have probably worked, but it ain't what's supposed to be on there. You see where I'm going?
We had to find some nuts, yeah.
Yeah, well, the nuts were with them. Anyway, so right here, you may have a keyway right there, but you'll also have bored a hole down there. There'll also be a hole bored down through here.
Like Allen screw.
You'll have an Allen, yeah, exactly. You'll have an Allen screw in there, and it'll be made to bite into that. Or it may be actually made to bite onto the shaft, but usually it'll bite the key. And you tighten that up really good. Now that is actually something you usually see on something like farm equipment. You don't hardly ever see that on a car. So I don't know why in the world they're even doing that. You know, because you almost never see it on a car. But if you ever see it, like on a fan, air conditioner, blower motor fan on a house air conditioner, you see it on that. But anyway, shops will pay the technician for a repair comeback. No, they will not. Particularly if you're working on commission, see, it's on you if it ain't right. That's basically the long and short of that. Maintaining a professional appearance, language, and behavior will assist the technician to advance the field. I've said this before, but there's the most common reason that people lose $100,000 a year plus jobs are for profanity. If you cuss, you get fired. Because that's stupid. Cussing is stupid. All right. Let me see here. And I don't care who hears me say that. Cussing is stupid. Hey, there, right there. Would you agree with that? What about you, Jordan? You agree with that?
No.
Cussing is stupid. Yeah. What are you, cussing Spanish or what? All right. All of the following are factors of bolt identification except what?
Shank, ain't it?
Shank is no good. On a metric bolt, the strength number is indicated on the head's 8.8. This is considered to be what?
Common grade?
Fairly common grade. You see a lot of those. But that is actually medium to high. I mean, I see a lot of them, so medium to high is probably what is the right answer. But so go ahead and put medium to high if you want to get that question right. To provide critical sealing, head gaskets must contain combustion pressures over what?
2,500.
That's pretty strong, isn't it? It's got to be pretty high, because it can go up that high. And that's number 7, 2,500. To ensure proper sealing of engine seals, the technician should do all of the following except what? Don't use a hammer. Now, there's times when a hammer is something you want to use, but other times not so much. To become ASE certified, the technician must pass the ASE test and prove work experience equal to how many years? 2 years, but this program's worth 1 year. So if you do 1 year in this, if you finish this program and then you also go 1 year in the shop, you'll get and you take the test and pass them, you get a patch. All right. And see, Jesse James Duke passed while he was still in the program, but he didn't get a patch until he'd worked a year in the field. So he did get the patch eventually. So even though he passed all the tests. However, if you pass the test and you've got that little thing that they send you that says you passed the test, and you can show that to whoever's hiring you, and there's one shop that I know of, and that may be where you're at, where they're wanting people to get ASE certified because they've only got one guy that's got ASE certifications in there. You know what I mean? Words to the wise. As a matter of fact, I may be wrong, but I think you can take those tests in Spanish. I think they'll let you do that if you have, issues understanding some of the words.
Well, I had issues to understand some words in Spanish.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you can take them in Spanish. That would give you a jump on that. You see what I'm saying? You'd be able to do it if you request them in Spanish. They'll let you.
No, I'm saying that the things I learned from the car.
Uh-huh.
I don't know the name.
Yeah, like bearings. Right? Yeah. You know what bearings is in Spanish? I don't even know how to say it, but it's like rodamientos or something like that. Whatever. All right. But you can get on your smartphone, you can get this Talk to Me app that I have, and help you with this. All right. So to remain ASE certified. No, excuse me. Most technicians work on what's called what? Flat rate. What does flat rate mean? That means if it pays 4 hours to put the water pump on, you do it in 2, you get paid for 4 hours. If it pays 6 hours to get it put on, you put it on in 2, you get paid 6 hours. If it pays 10 hours and you can do it in 3, you get paid 10 hours. So you're gonna make more money that way. And some of these guys that have worked on commission a long time and are used to working. I've seen some of them though when they pull them off commission. Like this one guy I knew was turning a lot of hours and doing a lot of work, and they said, "Well, you're doing so well. We're just gonna put you on the clock." And when they put him on the clock, he quit working. He got to where he wasn't doing anything, And so they basically, they had me with a guaranteed salary plus. I actually got paid a certain 40 hours a week at so many dollars an hour, which is pretty generous, plus whenever I turned over that. Well, I had a carrot to chase there, because if I turned 50 hours instead of 40, I still got paid for 50. See what I'm saying? And that worked out well for me. But I was always working. Because of the fact they were paying me like they were, if I didn't have any work in the shop, I was fixing battery chargers, I was fixing fans that didn't work, like the ones on the wall that blow on people. I was keeping the computers updated, I was keeping the shop manuals in order, I was doing all kinds of stuff to make sure they got their money's worth out. They appreciated that. They're watching you, whether you know it or not. And what are you supposed to be doing whenever there's not any work in the shop? Cleaning. You clean. There's no reason to be standing around, ever. Whenever they're paying your salary, they want you to be working. You don't have a problem with that, do you? You like cleaning, don't you? All right. I'd rather be working, but cleaning, fills the bill. How often do I have to recertify with my ASE?
5 years.
Every 5 years. My program, my NATEF certified program here has got to be recertified next year. And that is a big fruit basket turnover, but it's necessary every 5 years. They want to do it. Okay, ASE certification tests are offered how often? This question is fouled up. Nowadays, the reason is because it is an outdated question. The reason I'm telling you that, they used to offer them twice a year, spring and fall. Now you can take them just about any time you want to. All you got to do is get on the ASE website, and you find a seat, an open seat, in the testing center at a certain time of the day. They got a calendar up there. And you pick, I can be there between 10 and 12 on this day, and you make that appointment, you go over there, and that guy runs a wand over you, make sure you have it in your pocket, you got to put your cell phone, everything away in a locker. You go in there with nothing but a pencil in your hand. He wouldn't even let me take a piece of candy in there. You know what I mean? No, we got to leave that out here, All right. So, and is that all of your test questions, or you have some more? You have some more, don't you? To measure the specific rotation of a bolt, what should be used? Torque angle gauge. Is that what you were just saying? Yep, good deal. A twisting force that's measured in foot-pounds or newton meters is known as what? That's torque. The joint between two stationary components can be sealed with what? Gaskets. Yeah. Well, I can see why you'd think that, because that was the first question. Okay. Proper application of sealants and adhesives is essential to good engine blank and reliability. Blank and reliability. What word would you put there? What about performance? The federally mandated system known as blank radically changed vehicle diagnosis in the mid-1990s. OBD2. Do you pull codes and everything on people's cars up there, Brandon?
Do what?
You pull codes on people's cars and stuff?
Yeah, I get annoying.
Is that right? Are you the best guy at doing that?
No, I don't know about that, but that one time when it's freaking pouring down rain for wiper blades.
Is that good?
Nope.
No, that's the only time to buy them.
No, because they get ticked. They get PO'd when we tell them we can't do it because it's pouring down rain, and they get PO'd. Well, it says you can install them anytime. I said, yeah, you really expect us to go out there and pouring down rain and give you two freaking.
Well, if you guys really wanted to do good customer service, you would put one of those little shelters up.
Yeah, but.
And so that you could change the wiper blades when you're doing that. You see? Hold on, guys, just a second here. I'm almost
did
done.
that one time when it was raining.
Yeah, when performing they come to get wiper blades put on when it's raining. Is that great? So that they have
Not
one-
when it's raining, when it's like a monsoon.
Yeah, you need to have some kind of little shelter or something, just a little lean-to or something. Okay, hold on a second. 18, we're almost through here. The warranty, that's what we're talking about. A warranty repair. I want to make sure I don't forget that word. It's the technician's responsibility to effectively describe the customer's concern, problem, and cause, and corrections. So you got to say what the problem was, what was causing it, and what you did to fix it. Right? What's up?
All right. Since we didn't
Take it
help
apart.
him take it apart.
Yeah,
You don't know how to put it back together? Well, I guess I'll have to get Derek to help you because he knows how to do that. So.
Are they trying to put it together?
Put the transmission back in the crown plate.
I know, we discussed the way.
Yeah.
I got one on the other one.
Yeah.
And a motor over there.
he's just overloaded. Okay.
You want us to wing it?
Huh? Yeah, I'll be out there in just a second. Just, give me 5 minutes and I'll be right out there. Yeah. You hear that? Take your time. What's he gonna be doing in the meantime? ASC certification is blank, but employers prefer ASC certified technicians. That is the truth. It is voluntary, but employers prefer ASC certified technicians. There may come a time in this country where it's mandatory. In Europe, if you're going to be a mechanic, you can't just pick up your toolbox and walk in the door and say, I'm a mechanic. You actually have to be an apprentice and a journeyman, and it takes years to get to where you're actually a full-fledged mechanic over in Europe. It's not like it is here. Totally different. When the technician is paid, incidentally, I'm going to tell you this. If we look at we got this Renault franchise, from France, that where we had these cars, the Renault cars that were selling for a while, and they had all them shop manuals that came in there with the Renault cars. And if you look up the alternator in the Ford shop manual, it tells you how to strip that alternator down, check every part of it, put it all back together, and fix it. It's got pictures and everything. I mean, line art pictures where you can see exactly what's going on. But in the Renault shop manual, you know what it said? It said, make sure the wires are plugged in and the belt's tight, and you may need a voltage regulator. Didn't tell you anything except that. It had one little paragraph on the alternator. They figured, you know why? They figured you should already know all that other stuff. We shouldn't have to say anything except what's the basic stuff. When the technician is paid by the job hour, the method of payment is called blank rate. Flat rate. It's a flat rate job, a flat rate mechanic. A line mechanic is a guy that just works on, works on whatever they throw in basically. But usually most of the shops now have got specialists that do the work and all that. So. Okay. All right. Anybody got any questions or comments? Is that good? You through?